Hello, 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 what's up everybody? I hope your new year is starting off with a bang, and I've got one for you, the top 10 most anticipated games. This is something that a lot of YouTubers do, and I like to do it too. It's just a fun, good time to see what everybody is interested in, what they're looking forward to for the year. So I'm going to give you what games I am the most hyped for, so I hope you enjoy this, but I will say right now, do not expect any remasters or remakes. I figured there's a ton of those coming out this year. I don't want to pretend like I'm super excited for them. I mean, I definitely think there's going to be some good ones, but to say that I'm excited for, let's say, like the Resident Evil 4 remake compared to just brand new IPs, it would be a lie. So I have chosen to omit all remakes and remasters for this list. So I hope that's okay, because you're just going to get a bunch of unique and different titles. So with that in mind, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's do this. Coming in at number 10 is the best looking Final Fantasy, and no, that is not hyperbole when I say Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line is in fact the most anticipated game out of the Final Fantasy games that are supposedly coming out this year that I am the most hyped for. I mean, Final Fantasy 16 looks fine and it looks like a big game production. I still don't believe it's coming out in June. They claim it is, but I'm fully anticipating a delay there. And then I don't know if they're actually going to get the Final Fantasy VII Remake Episode 2 or whatever they're going to call it out this year. But I'm telling you right now, none of that matters though, because the rhythmic Final Fantasy game is here. If you haven't played these on the 3DS, there were two of them, you blew it. They are awesome. They were a ton of fun. I absolutely love the art style. It might be a little bit too cutesy for some people, but I'm telling you, to play rhythmic battles while being able to select hundreds of classic Final Fantasy songs is a dream made in heaven. $50 to me is a perfect asking price for this type of game, and I know it's all this extra DLC and stuff, and I will probably buy it all because I loved the 3DS games, and I'm telling you right now, this is not a game you should skip on. Give it a shot. I hope there's a demo, because this is a type of spin-off franchise that deserves a lot of love, and I hope it sells really well, so they'll keep making these types of games. They are unique, fun, charming, and I can't wait to play it. It's just a shame it comes out in February, because there are a lot of awesome games coming out in that month. Then at number 9, we have Stella Blade. It's a really weird looking waifu hack and slash. Okay, it's probably not really a waifu, but let's get real here. They know what they're doing with these characters in this game, and it looks a lot of fun. If you enjoy games like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, this is the type of game that you'll probably be interested in. I love the high intense action combat that they have going on here. I love the premise for it. Everything about it from the trailer just looked great. There are some things though that I do have some questions on, like whether or not it will actually come out in 2023. We do not have an official release date, but they do have a whole year for it. And while I try to usually, when I do these lists, to keep it in, games that actually have a release date and are more than likely, like 99% chance they're going to come out that year, this is one I'm going to give an exception for, because it just looks so dang fun. I don't know much about it, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Which is why we have Jack Jean on this list, and you're probably asking yourself, what the heck is Jack Jean? Well, it's an Otome game. It's an Otome visual novel, and if you don't know what Otome is, it's basically one girl gets to choose her love interest between, on average, 4 to 6 guys, and there's usually a canon route, but you get to choose which guy you want to bang. I know that sounds weird for a 32-year-old man to say he likes Otome games, but I love Otome games. They usually have these really fun, unique, and interesting stories, and I'm all about stories when I play video games. I love me a good narrative, and Jack Jean seems to be that type of game. I don't even want to begin talking about it. There's only a little bit known at the time. This game, though, and this is why I'm also including this on this list, is the fact that these games usually always meet their release windows. I've hardly ever seen an Otome game that gets announced that's slated to come out in a year and then actually gets delayed. It's pretty dang rare. So Jack Jean is slated for the summer. I have no doubts that it will happen. If you're interested, go check it out. Like I said, this is a very niche title. It's kind of something that my wife and I enjoy playing together. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Then at number 7, we have Atelier Ryza III. Yeah, we got a trilogy for Ryza. Ryza, my girl. Ryza, best girl, guys. The best girl from any of the Atelier games. I did not realize, by the way, just how big of a franchise this is. There are a lot of Atelier games, but I've only played a few of them, and the ones I have played, I'd have to say, Atelier Ryza, she's the best one. This is the best series, so the fact that we're getting a third one is just awesome. If you haven't had a chance to try these, I recommend starting with the first one, work your way up to this one. And it's going to be great. Unfortunately, though, like I said, it comes out in the month of February, which is just a cluster of excellent titles, so I'm not even 100% certain I'll be able to pick this up day one because there are so many other games I'm trying to save up for in the month of in the month of February. But all the same, I'm still very excited. I hope this game does well. I will eventually, without a doubt, be picking this up. It's just a matter of when, not so much an if. Speaking of February, hey, guess what? We have another game coming out in February. This one is Octopath Traveler 2, as if we didn't have already enough games coming out in February on this list, but I have played through the first one and I did enjoy it. Not as much as a lot of other people, but I still enjoyed it. But that's what's so interesting to me about the sequel is, will they be able to improve upon some of the setbacks from the first one? For example, will they be able to make a more cohesive narrative without some of the weird jankiness of the character interactions? And if you played the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. How will they improve and implement an updated battle system with the way they do the BP structure? You know what I'm saying? This is going to be an awesome sequel. I have a feeling that this game is going to just crush it, and that's why I'm probably going to pick it up day one, just because I am so interested in seeing what improvements are they going to make, and will this be a mainstay series? I hope it does, because there is just so much potential in the Octopath Traveler universe now. So very excited. Sad it's coming out in February like everything else, but it's going to be a good one, no doubts. And then at number 5, we have another game that is slated to come out in the month of February, as if we didn't have enough of these games. But Scars Above is a video game that I don't know much about, but I've seen the trailers and that's all I need to know. You're telling me there's going to be this weird sci-fi, survival horror, third-person, puzzle-solving-esque weirdness of a video game that looks very excellent, well polished, that is technically a budget title. It's only $40 on release date. Yeah, this has everything I want in a video game, so I am very, very much excited to play. What little I have seen is enough to get me this excited for it. I hope it's awesome. I hope it knocks it out of the park. I'm going to go into it completely blind. Go check out Scars Above on YouTube. It looks like it's going to be something very interesting. I can't guarantee that it's going to be good, but it's going to be refreshing for me, and I'm looking forward to it. Go check it out. This one just looks good, man. Number 4 is a video game that might upset some people to see that it is only number 4, but The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a game that I am very much excited about. I'm not going to pretend like I'm the most excited for it. It's just kind of one of those games that's taken so long for it to release that it got to the point where my hype levels kind of died out after 3 years of waiting. But all the same, I'm still very much excited about it, and just like I said about Octopath Traveler 2, I'm very interested in to see what improvements they're going to implement. There are a lot of things about Breath of the Wild that a lot of people wanted to see improved upon, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store. I do think this game is going to be magical. It is absolutely going to be a Game of the Year contender, and I wouldn't be surprised if it won. So, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, this shouldn't surprise anybody that it's on this list. Let's just hope it's everything we all want it to be, and let's move on. And then at number 3, we have a game that at the time that this is recorded and put out, it is coming out in just 10 days. Fire Emblem Awakening. I don't care what you say, man. I love the red and blue contrast, the character design. I think it's awesome. It gives me some Jester vibes, and I'm okay with this. I think this game looks everything it needs to be. It looks so freaking good. My hype levels are pretty dang high. I've been a big fan of Fire Emblem ever since I played Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS. That was my first one. I'm not going to even pretend like I've been this diehard Fire Emblem fan throughout the ages. That's just not true. But I loved Fire Emblem Awakening, and I loved Fire Emblem Fates, and I loved Fire Emblem Echoes, and I even enjoyed Fire Emblem Warriors, and I really liked Fire Emblem Three Houses. So Fire Emblem Awakening, why wouldn't I like it? This is going to be an awesome game. I know they have been releasing all of this gameplay footage. I don't need it. I don't need it. Just I was sold when I saw the first trailer. I'm happy it is releasing here so shortly. I can't wait. 10 days away, man. Let's go. Number 2 comes from the creators of Danganronpa, and if you know me, you know that I'm a big fan of Danganronpa. Master Detective Archives Raincode blah 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 blah. This is a ridiculously big title again. But it looks so good. Like, the art style and the characters look like they belong in the Danganronpa universe, man. And I mean, you can just tell that they have so many things that are inspired from the Danganronpa universe that they're throwing in, and they're meshing it up and they're mixing it up, and they're just blah 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 blah, and that's the game. That's the game right there. Very insightful description by Bradley Overrated here, but I don't care. I am so ready for this game. I am so excited. I have the collector's edition pre-ordered. I need to get this game in my hands so I can try it out. I hope it is as good as everything I've seen makes it out to be. I think this is going to be a contender for my personal Game of the Year, and I hope I am not disappointed because my hype levels for this one are through the roof. There is only one game that I am more excited for, and that's probably because I have been waiting a decade for it. And last, but certainly not least, the number 1 choice is Dead Island 2. No, this is not a joke. No Final Fantasy could ever beat this one right now. No Fire Emblem could do it. No, not even Danganronpa. If Danganronpa came out with a new game this year, it couldn't beat it, because Dead Island 2 is something a little bit more special than a typical game. You see, my wife's favorite game of all time is the original Dead Island. And the reason being is because it is just so much fun and joy to play that game. She's played it 7 or 8 times over. I've beaten the game with all of the characters, and I played it with her throughout the whole campaign. We love that game ever since it released in 2011. We were together all the way back then, and then some. We've been married for over a decade now, and our love of that original game has not ceased. We always keep going back and playing that game. It is one of my favorite games of all time. So to say I'm excited for Dead Island 2 to be releasing in April is an understatement. All of the other 9 games on this list combined couldn't even come close to matching my hype levels for Dead Island 2. I don't even care if the game sucks. We've already pre-ordered a standard edition. We've already pre-ordered a collector's edition. We'll probably get another copy just because why not? Because we love this game so much. I hope Dead Island 2 is really fun though. I'm really looking forward to being able to recreate memories with my wife playing this game. I hope it's even remotely good, because if it is, I'm certain my wife and I will still love it to death. So yes, I do not care what anyone else says. Dead Island 2 is easily my most anticipated game of 2023. And there you have it, guys. This concludes my top 10 anticipated games of 2023. I know Dead Island 2 is a weird choice, but as you can tell, it actually has a very personal attachment to my wife and I. It's just kind of that type of thing. You don't expect to fall in love with certain games and to attach them to people and have these very fond and beautiful memories, but sometimes mowing down zombies is apparently one of the most precious memories I have. And you know what? In a way, I think that's beautiful and it's wonderful, and I'm so happy, and I'm just so grateful that this game's coming out. It's just going to be wonderful. I just can't wait to see my wife's face when she finally gets to try it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a personal thing for me, but all the same, I would love to know now what your most anticipated and hyped game for 2023 is. Maybe it's Starfield or some other game I didn't mention, but let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, thank you for taking the time to watch this. I am Bradley Overrated, out like a trout. Praise be to Yevon. And let's see if I can try not dying in this game too much. Oh yeah.